Hey guys, this is Toni. Welcome back to Action for Aging. You know what we're doing here? We're tackling life's most underestimated season, the mature season. If you're over age 50, you're in it with me. We're all in this together. Let's do it with intentional action and a big dose of self-love. If you've not been to my channel before, I'm a homeschool mom. I'm in my last year. I've been at it for 15 years. I'm very much looking forward to a shift in my life and moving into a new season. It's been great. It's been a long ride. There have been a lot of challenges, especially lately. And so I am looking forward to moving on. But for right now, God has me finishing strong, and that's where I'm at. Speaking of God having me finish, how are you doing with your rest in this season? It does get more difficult, doesn't it? We lay down and we want to go to sleep and it just doesn't come. And so there are a couple of things that I'm doing that maybe you are too, or maybe you've tried them. And if not, maybe it's something you can think about. Number one, we've all heard about melatonin. I suggested it to my mom years ago when I was working as a registered nurse and I was working the third shift. And I would come home and have to sleep in the morning between shifts, which was really difficult. And so I found that if I took melatonin, I could not only get my rest, but I could wake up and not feel groggy. And that was really important to me. I needed to be fresh to take care of my patients. And so melatonin did that for me. For my mom, she had the opposite effect. She was so groggy, she couldn't get going. And there are different dosage they're actually micrograms that you could take, and perhaps it was what she was taking. It's been so long I can't remember, but for me, melatonin works great, and I still do like to take that occasionally today. I keep it in my arsenal as, my big gun. I don't want to take it all the time, but when I need it, it does work for me. Another thing that I do and have been doing consistently lately is the little foam earbuds, the ones that are squishy and you can place in your ear. You kind of squeeze them in so far and then they expand back out. They are a godsend. They truly are. I've got my husband using them now. The beauty is that they block out all the background noise, but we're still able to hear our alarm when it goes off. And so I would say pick up a pair of those. They're really cheap. You can get them at CVS or Walgreens, and give them a shot on your day off. If you're concerned that maybe you won't hear your alarm, set your alarm for a time on your day off that's reasonable for you and give those a shot and see if you can't hear that alarm. So not the more firm ones that aren't squishy. You need those nice soft ones. Otherwise, I've used the others and they're actually kind of painful in your ears after a while. These, not at all. So those are two things I'm doing to get my rest. The common sense things, how are you doing with that? I could be doing better. Going to bed at a reasonable hour, making sure that you get the amount of sleep that you need to wake up feeling refreshed. That is so key, and something that when I look at my total health, I could be doing better there. And so I have to keep working on that. Anyway, I've got a lot going on in my life. Let me just give you an example. Today, I dropped my son off at 6 o'clock in the morning. He is a baseball player. And did you see the jogger go by? He is a baseball player, and he is a forgetful child. He's a freshman in high school, and he does go to a traditional brick and mortar high school. And it's almost a half hour from our home. So I drove him here. We got up, just after 5 o'clock in the morning, got him here by 6. And we were on our way there when I said, do you need the papers that you placed on top of my scrapbook cabinet? And it was like, oh my gosh, which made me go, oh my gosh, right? There was not enough time to turn around and go back. He would be late for practice. So I had to drive him there. And then I had to make another trip. It's a half hour one way, an hour round trip out of my morning to be sure that he had what he needed. Yes, I could have let him suffer the consequences in his grade and with his teachers and his peers. I decided to take a different route. He is not going on his PS4. He will not have phone privileges. Those will be his payments for the fact that I had to run to school and run back, because I know that hurts him more. And so I chose to go that route, and I brought those things back out to him. That's just one example of how my week has been going. I have another family member who is struggling. With some things, and they're playing out as stress and drama for our entire family. Never think that people that show up on YouTube have perfect lives, because that is so far from the truth. And it was bad the other day. I mean, we were up in the middle of the night speaking with said family member, trying to work out some things that came to our attention. And I haven't gotten much rest, I'd say, in the last 3 days. And so how am I coping with that, right? Because at this age, we have less energy, we have less patience, we're not getting the rest that we need. It makes it more difficult when life happens and we still have to face it head on. So I'm going to tell you that sometimes when you can't get actual rest, I choose to tap into my spiritual side and look for God rest. In Philippians 4:13, it is said to us that I can do all things. How? Through Jesus Christ, who gives me the strength. So I can tap into the fact that God will equip me, if I will rest in him, to take on and tackle what my day has in store for me. And if I don't lose sight of that, and that is key, I can calm and center myself in the midst of it and plug through it just one step at a time. And speaking of steps, have you ever heard the saying, draw near to God and he will draw near to you? Here's a beautiful image that I want to leave you with. If we really do that, if we really purpose in our heart and our mind to take a step toward God when our life is feeling difficult, he is so great and so magnified and so magnificent and so beyond what we can ever imagine him to be, that our step towards him receives a huge step in return towards us, a God step in our direction. It would be like the little baby taking that toddler step towards mama, and mama sees that she needs to rescue that baby, and boy, her step is huge in the direction of comforting and perhaps intervening on behalf of that toddler. He does that for us. So as you go about your day today, may you rest in God. If you don't have actual physical rest, may you have God rest moments throughout your day. And I just pray that you would recognize how truly valuable you are, not only in this season of life, but also in his eyes. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, my name is Toni with Action for Aging. If you haven't been here before, do me a favor. I hope you'll consider hitting that red subscribe button below and joining my channel and coming back to visit again with me soon. Thanks. Bye.